Hey there, my name's Rebecca Mickey and I am a Seattle-based children's sleep consultant and author. In this 10-minute masterclass, we're going to be talking all about if it is possible to help your child get better sleep without actually doing any sleep training. Let's get started. So a lot of the time, you either know whether you want to start doing some sleep training or you don't. And there's no right or wrong here. You do what is right for you and what is right for your child. But so many times, if you'll search online for how can I help my child sleep a little better, it's always going to get to sleep training. There's so much information out there. Then that is the be all and end all. Everything that you need to do, resolve all of your child's sleep problems is just by sleep training. That's not something that you're comfortable doing. It's not something that you want to do. But oh my goodness, you would love to have a little bit of an easier time helping your child to sleep, continuing to help them. You'd love to have a bit of an easier time through the night, maybe have some longer naps, some longer stretches at nighttime, but you don't want to do any sleep training. And so is it at all possible? Well, actually it is. It is possible to get some great sleep without doing any sleep training. And this is not looking at any different technique at all. I know sometimes people will say that a sleep consultant is going to always get to sleep training. No, this one isn't. Not here anyway. So there's plenty that we can do to get better sleep, so without even looking at how your child is falling asleep or they're falling back asleep. That means you're still going to help them the exact same way that you have been to sleep for their naps and for their nights. And then when they wake, you're going to help them back to sleep the exact same way, whatever that is, whether that's right now with you feeding or rocking or bouncing, whatever that looks like. It's still possible for you to encourage your child to get some better sleep. I've worked with families for over 25 years, and there are a series of things that I work with before we get started on anything else. Absolutely anything. So these things that you can work on, I'll have families work on these for at least a week, sometimes 2 weeks to make things a little bit easier, are going to have a really positive impact on sleep, simply because we're going to be avoiding overtiredness, helping your child get really nice and relaxed before sleep. We're going to work with their personality, and you just cannot go wrong if you are going to be really focusing on these things. So let's break this down. What does this actually look like for you trying to do this? We want to make sure that your child is not getting overtired. So we want to get them down for their nap at the right time. Now it depends on their age as to how long they can be awake for before they need to go down for their next nap. Within that first 12 weeks, I wouldn't even worry about anything. They're just going to nap whenever they need to nap. They may need help falling asleep. Try feeding a newborn and them not falling asleep. That happens very rarely. So don't even worry about this within the first 12 weeks. This is after we get past that. So we want to make sure that your child is awake for the perfect amount of time that they need to be awake for. It's going to be different things that play a big part in this. How old they are, their temperament. So the older your child is, the longer they're going to be able to be awake for. We're going to start when we're getting onto a daily routine, about an hour and a half maximum awake. Now that can be shorter, but that would be our maximum. Then we're going to stretch out to about 2 hours. Then we're going to get on to the 2, 3, 4. Your child will drop down to one nap, and then alas, that nap is going to disappear. So that is how our daytime sleep kind of works, kind of develops. Looking at age, looking at temperament, looking at how much sleep it is that your child needs during the day. As humans, we all have the amount of sleep that is perfect for us. For me, it might be quite different than what it is for you. And your child is going to be the same. They're completely unique and they have a set amount of sleep that they need to function. Now, obviously, we want the majority of that to be at nighttime, and naps are just enough to keep going and keep awake until the next nap. So looking at daytime routine, really important. We want to help your child to relax and unwind before they fall asleep, whether that's for a nap or whether that's for their nighttime. We have our own routine that we do. You may not even think really that it's much of a routine, but hey, humans are creatures of habits. You probably have your routine, and that could be getting ready for bed, where you're brushing your teeth, you're washing your face, having a shower, whatever that look like. go into the bedroom, you may read a book, you may do some meditation, you may do some journaling, but you're probably going to be doing things in the same order, and then you'll be then falling asleep. Now, doing these things in the same order is going to be really, really relaxing. Your brain then knows that sleep's coming and it's getting ready to fall asleep. Now, we want to help your child to do this as well. They can't just go from busy playing to just boom, asleep. Now, some children can. Again, it depends on their temperament, on their personality, but we all do a little better with sleep if we're able to get really nice and relaxed. So we do need to have a nap time routine and a nighttime routine where you are helping your child to relax. Again, this will depend on their age and their sleep personality, their temperament, as to what this needs to look like. Could it just be reading a couple of books, singing a song, and getting your child down to sleep? Do you need to help them adjust to the room, to the space that they're in? So they're going to have an easier time when you then are moving on through those steps. So it really depends on your child's personality, on their temperament, as to what is going to work for them. We want these routines as well during the day to be really, really effective. We're going from busy play to actually quite quickly expecting your child to be down asleep. We want those routines to be really, really effective as well. So we want your child to not be overtired. So we're getting them down at the right time. We want to really help them get relaxed and unwound. And we want to look at their temperament, at their sleep personality, to see how we can be working with them. A few other things. A couple of things that you can look for is creating a really great sleep space, which is really conducive for sleep. Really important. If the room is feeling too hot or too cold, or it's very, very cluttered, or your child is just uncomfortable in their bed, nobody's going to sleep very well. So looking at creating a really great sleep environment is really, really important. And one of the biggest things that people constantly forget is that if your child is not comfortable with where it is they are sleeping, so not just comfort physically, but mentally, are they comfortable with that space? If you are getting your child down to sleep and you're laying them down in their crib, but every single time that they wake up, whether it's from a nap or for a nighttime, they freak out, they're not comfortable there. They're not comfortable there. And so if they're not comfortable, they're going to be just on high alert the second that they wake up. And that doesn't make sleep great for them, which is not making sleep great for you. So you can work on them being a little bit more comfortable within their sleep space. May mean that they have a more comfortable time, an easier time sleeping there. How do children get comfortable with things? Playtime. Playtime in the crib is going to help your child to become more comfortable with their sleep space. Now, I know you've heard from someone somewhere who said that the crib should only be for sleep and we shouldn't use it for play and we shouldn't use it for anything else. How are we going to get your child comfortable with that sleep space if they're not going to be having any awake time in there? They need some awake time in there, and I suggest everybody do this every single day. Start small and increase the time as your child gets more comfortable with it. You're going to stay with them for the entire time, and you're going to try getting them out when they're having the time of their life and they're having a great time. This way, they are going to have a much easier time than when they wake. They're still going to need help during the night, but you never ever know. This may mean that they wake during the night, they're really comfortable with that space and not instantly freaking out. They may just close their eyes and go back to sleep. Just having some playtime in the crib does not mean your child is going to sleep the entire night without any wake-ups. But if it means that maybe you're laying your child down at the beginning of the nap or the night and they're comfortable with that space, they know where they are and they think it's a great place, you may then have an ease of laying them down. You could then go from short naps, longer stretches at nighttime as well. So these are the things that we really want to work on that are going to encourage your child to get some longer stretches of sleep without doing any sleep training whatsoever. If you would like to have some more information, then I suggest that you join Gentle Sleep Club. Gentle Sleep Club has everything you need. We go really in depth to all of those steps. And we look at how your child can improve their sleep without even looking at how they fall asleep or without even looking how they fall back asleep during the night. There's no information on you getting less involved, them being more independent. We do have some information on falling asleep, but every single one of those involves you helping your child, and if something has not been working, how you can try something different to make that work, to make them get down to sleep as quickly as possible. But we are not focusing at all on any sleep training. So take a look, Gentle Sleep Club. You will find all that information there that you need to get your child the best possible sleep without ever doing any sleep training. I'll see you in the next masterclass. Take care.